All right, and we are live. Woo! Let's just shake some things out, all right? Because, and get ready for this. Let's shake it out and get ready for this. Moving away any stagnant energy because we are getting things flowing and moving this rising. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to you. I'm excited to be here. Let me just get this set up a little bit more so I can move over here. There we go. And as the title of the live states, we are going to be doing a full all signs reading for the Gemini full moon that is coming on December 15th. It is currently December 11th. So we have a few days until it comes in, but 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. By tomorrow, we'll start feeling that full moon energy, that heightened energy, that things coming in really strong and really intense. And with it being in the sign of Gemini, it makes me think about duality and how to navigate that duality. So I'm going to be using my Light Seers tarot card in order to pull one card for the shadow and one card for the light, and seeing how we can balance and navigate the aspects of both of what comes through in order to benefit us. You know what I'm saying? Like what qualities, what two qualities I'll say, or what qualities that may kind of be different or opposite from each other, where can we find the middle ground to balance them? So we're going to be doing that for Gemini. Other than that, I feel like we can start. I've been experiencing some Mercury retrograde type stuff with my devices, so there's that. It's very in tune. We'll be in a Mercury retrograde until December 15th when the full moon hits, so I'm excited for that. But then we also know that Mercury retrograde has a shadow period. I have been consciously not making any decisions until that period ends, because I feel like, yeah, new plans are just not a time to be executing. You know what I'm saying? If you already had something planned, then this would be the time to do it still. And, you know, not letting that interfere with it. But when it comes to having new ideas and starting them during a Mercury retrograde, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be signing new contracts and things like that during this time. I just wouldn't. So let me get some water and then we're going to get started. We're going to start with Sagittarius because it is their season. It is their time. And if you are a Sag, happiest birthday to you, my love. Excuse me. I might be needing some more of that. That was my first drink of water the whole day. So I'm feeling it just nourish and go through my whole body. And I'm praying that that's what happens during this reading, that it nourishes you and flows through your whole body with the resonance. All right. Let's just greet the cards. Greetings, peace, and many, many blessings to you. Thank you so much for my ability to receive and share divine insight with the collective. I'm so honored to be a divine, holy channel, a righteous channel for information and truth. So as we pull cards for this Gemini full moon, I'm asking that whoever and whatever needs to come through in the highest light comes through for the divinity, for the clarity, and for the full love and honesty of this reading. Let's just even look at this card that came out for us. We have the Six of Wands, which is also the basis of a card that I had when I pulled for myself. So I pulled something for myself. When I looked at the foundation of the deck, the foundation was the Six of Wands, which is telling me all about celebration and being celebrated for my successes, but me being in charge of what those successes are, and people watching and cheering for me. But as we know, everything is a reflection, right? So the more that you cheer and honor yourself, the more that others cheer and honor you. And the more that you decide what success is for you, the more that other people reflect that. Because some people have their own ideas of what celebration is. So in this Sagittarius season, make sure that you are celebrating yourself. You are redefining what success is to you. And that you're actually allowing yourself to be celebrated, but you're the one throwing it up for you. You're the one throwing it up for you. And then that is rewarded by being seen in others, by being reflected by others. So thank you for that overall message in Sagittarius season. All right, so now let's pull two cards, a shadow card and a light card. Since I keep referring to the shadow first, we're going to have the shadow be in the first position and the light card be in the second position. Let's do it. Sagittarius, the Sagittarii all around the world. What is the message? What two qualities can they start to balance? What are the two dualities that they can navigate in this time? And what perspective can we give them on that? All right. You feel it right at the top. Excuse me. If you saw that, that went right on my forehead. Let's do it here so that y'all can see me pull it. The shadow is the devil in reverse, and the light is the Six of Pentacles. So that shows me that, one, you are releasing some ties to the material world and using it to circulate the ties that you have to the material world. Instead of being tied to it and operating with it in an individualistic aspect or an individualistic way, you are trying to you're trying to circulate funds in a way that is beneficial to a community. Instead of it being only beneficial to you, Sagittarius, you're looking at how it can benefit the community. So pulling away from ways that tied you into patterns of, self-pity and self-doubt and all of that, and honestly not even seeing that you were tied to it. Now you're pulling away from that, but that's in your shadow. So there's a tendency to get caught up in something, to get wrapped up in something that's not necessarily for you, but you don't even see how the tie is tied by you. So getting yourself out of those type of situations and moving more into the light of situations where things can be circulated in a form of togetherness, and there's more abundance in that. So pulling away from the shadow of lack and going into the abundance of community and circulation. Sagittarius, I find that very, very beautiful, especially because it also reminds me of having a helping hand, right? Maybe someone came through and helped you pull yourself out of this limiting mindset that kind of closed people off. And now that you have that helping hand, you want to see how you can help others with it. With it being a Six of Pentacles. We see Devil in reverse, Sagittarius, and then Six of Pentacles upright. And then this is more sustainable, right? We have the eternity symbol coming through in the back of it. So as we know, this is the time. Like looking at this Pluto and Aquarius energy overall outside of the Gemini full moon, it is the time for collective efforts and for people to be together, for people to be doing things together and using their resources together to benefit everyone, not just themselves. So I see that energy coming through for Sagittarius, and it really benefiting them in a long-term way. Really benefiting you in a long-term way. Getting yourself out of them shadows and into the light, because yeah, Sagittarius energy can easily be, when it's on the negative side, I don't want to even say when it's on the negative side, but I realized that a lot of Sagittarius, even looking at the celebrity Nicki Minaj, like there tends to be less of one person trying to attack them or get with them or get through to them in a certain way that not hurts them, but drags them down in a certain way. And it's more like groups of people, organizations, corporations. So the more that you can pull yourself out of being in such an individualistic energy of like, oh, I'm being attacked, and pull yourself into community, that energy kind of goes away, because then you have people who are willing to not put up with you. When I say put up, I'm more so thinking about how we can all put up money to like get a house together or something, but more so they're more willing to collaborate with you, because just as much as groups of others might not like it, a lot of groups of others do like it and they will support it. So I'm seeing that energy coming through for you, Sagittarius, during this Gemini full moon. That's beautiful. We love that. Next, after Sag, we have Capricorn. So I'm going to just shuffle a little bit and then pull the shadow and light cards for Capricorn. If you are watching, please look for your sun, moon, and rising cards, because it is all going to resonate. You can find a message in all of them. Yes, indeed. All right, and now we are going for Capricorn. Show me the shadow and the light of Capricorn and how they can navigate duality in this experience. Okay, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse and then the Seven of Wands. So this is going to be a mix about a mix about thoughts that you have about yourself, right? And then the Seven of Wands is going to be about your passions. So there is this call between deep reflection on how you think about yourself and what you can create, and then pulling yourself out of the shadows and into the light of, wow, there is so much that I'm into. I have so many interests. I have a lot of things that can actually keep me into alignment. And even all the things that I love and enjoy, Capricorn, they can bring me peace instead of trying to pull me apart. So Eight of Swords energy is something that I have actually been navigating through myself. And it's about kind of you being the one that's keeping yourself into limiting situations, you being the one that is creating these small spaces, and you also being the one that can free yourself. So I feel like the brain, the mind, the ego, the 3D part of us is going to want to keep us safe, and sometimes that perception of keeping us safe is what keeps us in the same places. And it's time to get on out of that. Like, we understand that we want to be safe and we want to feel safe, we want to feel comfortable and all that, but it's all a mind trap and it's all a mind thing to stop you from doing something that's going to elevate you and take you to that next level. And the Seven of Wands is saying, how can you look at that differently? How can you look at yourself differently in order to bring yourself to that next level, finding peace in it? Yeah, calling for meditation. Whenever I see the Seven of Wands or just seven in general, it makes me think about the chakras and having them in alignment. So the Eight of Swords is really a whole bunch of mind stuff. How can you pull yourself out of your mind and go into your body and access the tools, right? Capricorn, you want to access the tools that can make you money, access the tools that can bring you at peace, access the tools that you already have within you. And even with this highlight being on the confidence, right? The Eight of Swords is kind of all about those limiting beliefs that make us feel bad about ourselves. So it's going to be a tank in our confidence. And then the Seven of Wands is always, not always, but it's going to be about having confidence in ourselves and what we can do and what we can create. So how can you pull that energy into yourself? What world can you create if you didn't have those thoughts about yourself? What world can you create? What reality can you create? What timeline can you step into without these thoughts that you have about yourself, which are limiting? And if you were really to sit with yourself, Capricorn, you realize that a lot of these things are not actually true. You're not truly bound to your old ideas of yourself. You are not truly bound to your old ideas of yourself. And you have to give yourself permission to create something new. You have to give yourself permission to create something new. And that is going to come through you. The birth of your new reality is going to come through you no longer having these limiting thoughts and beliefs about yourself. It can make you highly introspective, but it can also stop you from making moves. So let's move away from that. Let's move away from that, Capricorn. After Capricorn, we have Aquarius. So we are next going to pull the shadow and the light cards for the Aquarius. The Aquarians around the world. If you are watching, what is your sun, moon, and rising? Because we'll see if we tapped into that already. And you let me know if you resonate with it. All right, we are on Aquarius. Aquarius, pulling the shadow and the light card for the Aquarius and seeing how we can navigate the duality of the light and the shadow for the Gemini full moon. Aquarius. All right, it's ready. It's at the top. Aquarius. The shadow, King of Cups, and then the light is the Emperor, but these both come through in reverse. So as we see here, King of Cups in reverse for the shadow, and then the Emperor. When I'm seeing the King of Cups come through with Aquarian energy, as we know, Aquarius is the water bearer, and the King of Cups is kind of like, you know, when we think about kings, we think about being the bridge, being the gap, being the connection between the divine and the physical because of their way of, you know, leadership and guiding others. And if you don't know, now I'm going to be the one to tell you that Aquarius is all about humanity and what's the best for all. So it could be that the shadow of the Aquarius is thinking so much about humanity that they don't think about themselves. And of course, they're going to think about yourself because that's natural. But in a sense of, there's so much that you're considering for others that it stops you from doing something for yourself out of a maybe feeling like, oh, it's going to be too egotistic, or it's going to be too this, or it's going to be too that, when naturally whatever you do for yourself is going to benefit others as long as you're operating in righteousness. You don't have to think for the world because you're naturally the world, because the world is inside of you. And I needed to give myself a little bit more water. Jeez. With what I'm experiencing right now, this even makes me think about you not delivering the messages or speaking up. How can you speak up more, Aquarius, in this time? Like, knowing the thoughts that you have emotionally about humanity for others, and even the thoughts that you have about how you're feeling deeply. It may be thrown off right now, and you might need to be using your voice to settle some things, using your voice to speak about how you're deeply feeling. Even if it may not be for what you perceive as the best for someone, but your honesty is always going to be the best for someone. People watching you operate in your truth is what's best for humanity. Now, with the Emperor being in reverse, it's almost like, yeah, this resistance to make a move because you're trying to consider the world. You're trying to consider everyone instead of considering yourself. And there's nothing wrong with considering others because it's natural. as an empathetic, compassionate being, you're going to want to consider others, but you don't want to get so deep you don't want to get so deep into the consideration of what someone else may think or feel or react to how you are moving, that you just stop yourself from moving completely. We have two cards about rulership and leadership, the King of Cups and then the Emperor, which are also both masculine energy. So it makes me think about how can you go down on the masculine energy of do, because that King of Cups energy may be asking you to just relax, to settle, to take a step back, to really tap into your divine connection in order to figure out what's next for you. And then the Emperor is also sitting and waiting, which is not as masculine to do. So okay, I'm starting to get the message more here. Aquarius, don't let your emotions stop you from making a move. Don't let all of your emotions stop you from making a move, because you cannot control how other people feel. Just like you have the perfect thing waiting and sitting and waiting, just it's lining up, it's buffering, it's in line, and it's waiting for you to make that move so that you can start to see the outcome of it. But it's no way that you can weigh out all the single outcomes in your head and then not make no action on the one that you're desiring the most. So yeah, allow yourself to take this step. Even though it's not going to be in haste, allow yourself to take this step without any shame. Part of me wants to look at the foundation of this to see what this step is about. Nine of Cups. It's something emotional. It's something emotional, something that you need to say. And whatever the step is, it starts with you expressing yourself. It starts with you being vocal about it. It starts with you clearing that throat chakra energy and allowing yourself to have it be expressed. And it could also have to deal with the root, because the colors that are coming through is this blue for chakra communication, and then this deep red for the root and for security. So maybe you feel like what you're going to say or what you're going to express is going to uproot your security and your safety. And that's not true, because whatever is for you is going to be for you, Aquarius. Whatever is for you is going to be for you. Yeah, speak your truth in this Gemini energy of the full moon, because you'll have the energy to do it. It'll be heightened. Next, we're going to go to Pisces and talk about what dualities they are navigating. Pisces. One more time. Pisces. What is the light and the shadow for the Pisces? What's coming through for them during the Gemini full moon energy on December 15th, the last full moon of the year, 2024. Okay, Pisces. The shadow and the light. Wow, this is interesting. For the shadow, we have the 10 of Cups energy. So maybe you're hiding how happy you are. Maybe you're hiding your joy. Maybe you are hiding all the things that make you the happiest. And then the High Priestess is the light, but in reverse. So it could be an energy of feeling like when you don't show people how much you shine, you feel better or something like that. But that can't be it. Okay, because you are hiding this fulfillment that you're feeling, Pisces, because you're hiding the joy, hiding the success that you feel, hiding this, 10 of Cups is the ultimate wish fulfillment. And it's like also comfort in the fact that you're seeing everything that you wanted to happen, but getting comfortable with releasing it and knowing that there's something coming next, right? Because the numerology of 10 is just 1. So being back at square one, you have had that wish fulfillment, everything that you've asked for, everything that you've been working so hard to create, everything that it feels like is in such alignment for you. You are living in that, but you're hiding it, right? So what does it look like to let people see it? And how could that be blocking you from creating more in your new cycle? Because the new cycle might be requiring you to let it be seen, to let the process be seen, to allow yourself to be witnessed in it. And having trust within your own divine connection that you're going to be safe with letting it be seen. Because sometimes when we are experiencing some of the joys and highs of life, we feel like, or give our power away by feeling like, oh, if I show this, then someone's going to have the ability to take it away from me. And that's not true. That's really not true. It's only as true as you make it. It's only as, you know what I'm saying? We give our power away when we do stuff like that. So how can you take back your power of your enjoyment, of your wish fulfillment, of your, wow, I feel like I'm really getting everything that I need, and bring that out of the shadows and into the light and to allow it to be seen, knowing that you can create it all again in a better way, right? Because this is not about being attached to how it came out. It's about being so happy and so joyful about the way that it turned out that you don't want to share it too much. So I would try to get to the root of that. Why do you feel scared, or why you feel this resistance to share everything that's, not everything, but share what has went well for you. Share what's going well for you. Share even the process of how you made it come into fruition, Pisces. And then High Priestess in reverse. What is the fear that you can make it happen again? Because the High Priestess is all about abundance, all about creating visions, all about this super deep divine connection and being the channel for it. So if you're a channel, you got to be seen, right? When we look at the channels on TV, they exist because they're seen. So yeah, Pisces, I think that this is about allowing yourself to be seen and celebrating your joy, celebrating your achievements in public, allowing other people to clap for you. So I know that you probably will want it to be more intimate, but that childlike joy of yours is meant to be seen because it inspires others. Yeah. So if you know you're an inspiration, don't hold back from being seen. If you know that you are an inspiration, don't hold yourself back from being seen, Pisces. Next, we're going to go into the Aries for this Gemini full moon. Those fiery, fiery Aries. As we go into the Gemini full moon, what is happening with Aries during this Gemini? Oh, that was redundant. It's okay. What's happening with the Aries during this Gemini full moon? What advice and perspectives can we give them based on navigating dualities? What is the light and the shadow showing us? One more time. What is the light and the shadow showing us? Aries. Okay, the shadow first for Aries is going to be the Seven of Wands, and the light is the Page of Pentacles. So Seven of Wands is going to be about a disarray. So Aries may be experiencing this thing where there's a blockage within the confidence. So it could even be like, I don't want to say you're asking for too much, but the action doesn't seem to the wanting doesn't seem to be matching the action. It's like you want this, you want this, you want this, you want this, but what you're putting out to receive it isn't in alignment, and it's asking for it to be in alignment. It could be that you're using a whole bunch of old tricks to create something new, and obviously we want to take our transferable skills, right, and use them. But what's coming through is that your transferable skills are not all that you have. You can allow yourself to get your feet wet into something new, as you do not have to be the master of it all now. Like, allow yourself to be a student. Allow yourself time for it to be your first time. And then there could also be this resistance to actually sit down and plan things out, because Aries is all about action, 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 action. I want to do it now. I see this. I got this idea. Let's work on it. And there's this tendency to start a whole bunch of stuff and not necessarily finish all the projects, because they are the pioneers. Sometimes the finishing is not up to them, but you want to make sure that when you are starting projects that you are finding a way to tie it up. Find a way to tie it up. And then with the Page of Pentacles coming through, it's like you are ready to start a new adventure in the light. So the shadow is maybe starting too much and not finish it, and not giving yourself time to plan it out, because you just want to do and go. And then the Page of Pentacles is asking you to move in a more graceful period. Move a little bit slower when it comes to starting this new thing, because it is something new that's in a material that's going to really root you and ground you. But because it's new, because you're moving slower, you may have this fear of like putting both feet down inside of it. This person, this energy doesn't look fearful, but I'm just looking at what the light and the shadow is telling me. Moving gracefully, but taking your time. Moving gracefully and taking your time with it. And even I'm feeling to open your heart. Open your heart enough to slow down, Aries. Open your heart enough in order to slow down. Put yourself in nature to thrive off of those type of energies of moving slow, and getting to see that just because it's moving slower than you would like it to happen, that it's still happening, right? It's winter right now, no matter where you are. Well, I don't want to say no matter where you are, because everybody everywhere in the world experiences things differently, but it is winter. It's December, if that resonates for you. And it's not really the time for things to blossom and to grow. It's time to kind of hibernate and to reflect and whatever. And if you want to plant a little seed now, a lot of trees, their seeds get planted around this time in order to, I don't know all the terminology right now. I'm just thinking about when I wanted to start a pine farm and how the best time to plant them would be in December when the ground is cold. So yeah, what would it feel like to root yourself in it knowing that it's going to take its time, knowing that it's not going to be something that you can jump right into so quickly, and being comfortable with that. Sitting with yourself and being comfortable with moving more slowly, Aries. That's kind of that action versus patience energy. The action versus patience. But this will be the time to start something, just knowing that it's not going to finish itself and it's going to be the slow road, like taking the slow path and being comfortable with that. Aries. Beautiful. After Aries, we have Taurus. What is the light and the shadow of the Taurus energy for this Gemini full moon? The way I just did that makes me think about leaning more into feminine energy, leaning more into the flow. The Empress tried to come out. Leaning more into the flow, Taurus. So, yeah, what is the energy, the light and the shadow for Taurus during this Gemini full moon? How are they navigating these new dualities? And what advice and perspectives can we give Taurus right now? Taurus, the shadow. 3 of Cups. And then in the light, the 8 of Cups. So I can see this being a very emotional time of navigation, right? We have this need for community and sisterhood that is in the shadows, just kind of waiting and sitting and lurking. And then the 8 of Cups is like walking away from something in order to go into that light. So what do you need to walk away from it in order to allow what's in the shadow to come through? Because that shadow energy is really calling for, it's longing for community. It's longing to be touched physically and held by people who really love you and can nurture you. It is asking for all of this mind stuff to be calmed by being in alignment with sisters who truly have your back. Being in alignment with sisters who truly have your back. Someone to walk with, people to hold you. It's very beautiful. It's very calming. It's very much like coming back into self in those shadows. And even with 8 of Cups in the light, it's coming back to self. So what's being highlighted in this time right now for Taurus is kind of that need to walk away from something fiery, that need to be able to cool something down and comfortably walk away from it in peace so that you can move towards the light. We see that the sun is popping through in the horizons. So yeah, there's something that we are walking away from in this Taurus energy during this Gemini full moon. We are putting it away, knowing that we deserve something more. But emotionally, it could be tough to walk away because this is just the beginning of the walking away. It could have been some time of like deep reflection where you are looking at yourself and analyzing like, how good is this for me? How does this benefit my higher self? And then you had to send it off in the water because you saw that the answers to that were not enough. The answers to that were not in alignment with who you're trying to be and what you're trying to create. Yeah. What do you need to say to be solidified in that walking away? And so that you can walk right into this shadow energy of the sisterhood. And it also makes me think about the qualities that you are resisting in sisterhood, or what will be required of you in order to connect with other women. And are you okay with that? Are you comfortable with those requirements that really help you align with community? Loving, holding, deep community. This is really beautiful. Let me look at the foundation of this. The foundation of this is the Hermit. Yeah, so like I said, spending some time away. But the shadow could be because you desire alone time, because you desire deep reflection, because you desire just having that time for yourself. It could be pulling you away from the demands of community, but you create that in your head. Your community doesn't have to be around you 24/7, but they can just be around and be present, and you show up for them in the ways that you would desire for them to show up for you. And also, things can change. Your capacity for dealing with different energies and stuff could change when you realize that the energies are in alignment with who you want to be and with who you are becoming. So allow yourself to walk away from what's not serving you. Allow yourself to walk away from what you see is not feeding you so that you can go be fed. And know that you're deserving of that. Know that you are deserving of it, Taurus. You are deserving. That's why the Empress energy tried to come on through. That's why the Empress energy tried to come on through my throat. My throat. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Okay, this is also making me think, because I've been experiencing this throughout this whole video, that it's about time to use that voice. It's about time to express it. It's about time to break down. Break down some of this energy that you've been feeling. Gemini for the Gemini full moon. Gemini for the Gemini full moon. That's really not sexy for me to have to be clearing my throat like this on this live, but oh well. Oh well. It makes me think about that Pisces Venus of just allowing yourself to be seen. And that y'all can hear me. There's no reason that y'all wouldn't be able to hear me. That's fine. It's just I'm not using my mic this time around because I'm charging my phone. So Gemini. That 3 of Wands tried to come through, huh? Gemini, what is the energy of Gemini during this Gemini full moon? And how can we navigate the two dualities of the light and the shadow during this time? Gemini. Oh, look at that. Almost left something behind. Gemini, are you moving too fast? Are you moving too fast? Is the mind going so quick? Gemini, the shadow and the shadow and the light. Shadow, the world, the light, 2 of Cups. I'm seeing a lot of I'm seeing a lot of possibilities for when it comes to collaboration. Collaborating. 2 of Cups definitely makes me think about lovers, right? Especially with these 2 people holding hands and pouring into one another and allowing themselves to be poured into by each other. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a lover. Excuse me. It could be a different type of partnership, a business partnership, a friendship. It could even be a relationship with you and your parents, right? There is some type of relationship that is in the light through working through the shadows of tapping into all your possibilities and trusting all of your possibilities, that it's like, you know, I really can have this connection. I really can bring this connection through that benefits both me and the other person, where we can pour into each other. We are no longer pouring from empty cups, but it starts from this shadow period of really knowing what you bring to the table by way of appreciating your own value. That's what I mean. How can you appreciate your own value? Know your own purpose in the world. Know that, okay, I came here for a reason, even if you don't know exactly what that reason is, but trusting in it and just having so much fun with the exploration, having so much fun on a journey, knowing that, wow, like this is all created for me, like to enjoy, to learn, to, you know, have an excitement when it comes to potentially being in the unknown. But I'm feeling like there's a lot of unknown energy within within Gemini right now, and it's like just allowing yourself to slow down and feel it all so that you can appreciate all that's available to you. And through the appreciation of all that's available, it begins to mix and mingle with someone else who knows exactly all that's available, and then y'all can create something very beautiful where you are pouring into one another and feeling fed. So you could be journeying and walking alone in one period and, you know, having your own thoughts and feelings about that in the shadows. But that shadow time of building yourself up is going to allow you to create and to connect with this other energy that is beneficial to you and your higher self. It's going to teach you something about being emotional and having comfort in your vulnerability, even as we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So that makes me think a lot about Gemini energy, where there's just this thirst for information, this thirst to understand, this thirst to know. You don't have to know everything right now, Gemini. You do not have to know everything right now. Get comfortable knowing what you know in your own reality, in your own world right now. And then, yeah, through that comfort, you can emotionally settle down and allow the things to start coming to you. You don't have to go out and seek it. You can allow it to come to you. Gemini. After Gemini, we have Cancer. So let's see what's happening with our shelled up emotional crabs. Cancer. What's happening with the Cancer when it comes to navigating duality in this Gemini full moon season? It's a few days away. We are tapping into the energy sooner to give some advice and perspective on what they can do. Let me split these up. All right, Cancer. Hey now, it was 2 left just at the bottom. But I'm going to shuffle one more time, and then we are going to select. Like I was saying earlier in the video, watch for your sun, moon, and rising. This will be saved publicly, and I'll put some timestamps to make the viewing easier. Though I feel like you can watch all 12 signs because I'm pretty sure you know other signs in your life. And you can even see what's happening with them to see how to be of support to them. All right, Cancer, the shadow, 3 of Cups, and then the light. Death and rebirth. Ooh, that's so exciting. So the Cancer, just like the Taurus, are calling for sisterhood and community and to be held, but it's in the shadows right now while they figure out what it is they want to deserve, what it is they deserve, and how they want to show up in these experiences. How do you want to show up in community? Hi, beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. How do you want to show up in community? How you want to receive, and also what you want to give, because it has to be an even balance within that for the Cancers. Yeah, but it's hiding in the shadows. I think it has a lot to do with trust. Trust is coming through when it comes to that in the shadows. But you know, you can only trust others as much as you trust yourself. And if you're having trust issues within, what you're perceiving as without, knowing that you got to take it inner and feel like, okay, if I want this closer connection with other women, if I want to be a part of a community, how can I trust that that's going to be okay for me? How can I trust that I'm giving enough to receive enough, and all of that? And then in the light, we have death and rebirth. So it's like you're going through these cycles that are allowing you to see things differently. Let me drink some more water. Goodness. Speaking your mind about it. Clearing the throat chakra. It may be calling for you, Cancer, to cut off some connections. It may be calling for you to cut off some of these connections that you're having in previous communities and previous friendships, so that you can allow yourself to really step into something new. Are you letting yourself know? Are you letting yourself truly feel and step into the truth of the fact that you want something new? Because the death and rebirth cycles are really showing you that some things cannot stay the same and everybody cannot come with you. But you cannot stay on and hold on to relationships just because you feel like it won't come again, or you are attached to who you are in these friendships and relationships. So navigating this duality is going to let you know that, yeah, some relationships can't stay. And in order for you to align with the things that you really are looking for and seeking and are really going to hold you and support you, some things really have to go. And it could be people, it could be items, it could be a whole bunch of things. But ultimately, it's going to start with pieces of you that cannot carry on into other relationships, or else you're just going to recreate the same things you're trying to get away from. Cancer, you do not want to be recreating the same things that you're trying to get away from, knowing that you crave something deeper, knowing that you're craving some holding. Let me see what's even at the bottom of this deck, the 10 of Cups. So in order for that ultimate wish fulfillment, to get everything that you need, you got to make space for it, and you have to know that it ain't going to come through if you're still holding on to something. So allow those death and rebirth cycles to come through. Allow yourself, the ego, to shed away. Emperor came through. What was that card? Justice. Interesting. How we are viewing ourselves, and maybe feeling like it's not fair. But I hate to be the person to break it to you, or even to tell you again, but life is not fair sometimes. That's not the goal of life, for it to be fair. It's meant to be nourishing. It's meant to be loving. It's meant to teach us something. It's meant to help us remember. And sometimes that doesn't always feel fair. After Cancer, we have Leo. So now we are pulling for the Leos, the light and the shadow of the Leo babies, the very big lovers. Okay, so Leo. What advice can we give the Leos and new perspectives that are available to them when it comes to navigating duality? What is the light and the shadows right now? The light and the shadow, Leo. Shadow and light right at the top for them. Shadow will be the 10 of Cups. And then, in the light, we have Judgment. More throat clearing. So it's maybe something to say about how unfulfilled you feel in the shadows. More? More. With Leo, it's making me think automatically about being in a new relationship, whatever that kind of relationship is, and not expressing your needs. So you're feeling unfulfilled, you're feeling unmet in certain ways that you maybe don't want to address. So why don't you want to address those things, knowing that what's going to be in the light of it is this feeling of, why did I choose this? Why didn't I do this? Why? But all of those questions that are taking you away from feeling so fulfilled come from the fact that you're not expressing why you aren't fulfilled. And maybe even feeling bad that, oh, this person seems perfect. If someone else were looking at this situation, it might be perfect to them, but we get to define what perfect is for us. And as long as we're not talking about an unattainable version of perfect, you know what I'm saying? Like, life is perfect, nature is perfect, in that type of sense. But when it comes to seeking a perfect relationship or seeking for a perfect partnership and whatever, like, not only romantic, that's what I'm trying to say. If you're feeling unfulfilled, baby, then you got to speak about that in order to get there. Because there's never going to be a time in life where we are feeling a certain way about something and then staying quiet about it is going to allow us to feel good. That's never going to happen. So in the shadows, if you are feeling unfulfilled, it's going to come through as some judgment, as some resentment, as some, not operations, sure, but there's going to be things that are present that are going to get you to nudge you to speak up about it, because you deserve to have that fulfillment. You deserve to feel emotionally met. You deserve to feel happy and joyous about what you're creating in this lifetime. So yeah, in the light, it's going to be judgment in reverse. It's about allowing yourself to feel exactly how you feel and letting that ascended higher self version of you bring things down to the ground of like, okay, this is what we need to express, and we can express it in a loving way. And that allows for us to either stay in a connection, knowing that we're expressing ourselves and knowing that we're seeing action towards what we're expressing, or choosing ourselves and leaving that connection. Because also with the Ten of Cups, it is about endings and new beginnings happening in that same time, right? Because 1 + 0 is just 1. So it's about a new cycle beginning, but that new cycle has to begin through you expressing yourself, through you even not being so judgmental about what things are, what you've attracted, right? It doesn't matter. You attracted something that helped you learn, and letting it be that. You didn't do anything wrong. Nothing is wrong. And nobody's judging you as harshly as you're judging yourself for what you created. What's at the foundation of this? Is the wheel. And with the dice on her neck is making me think about being lucky. So it could just be these perceptions, these outdated perceptions about how things are supposed to be, and outdated perceptions of perfection that are coming through and not allowing you to really go with the flow. Because you're allowed to talk about it. You're allowed to speak your piece. You're allowed to be fulfilled in your relationships. You're allowed to be refilled, sure, refilled and fulfilled in your connections. That's what allows it to be perfect. As long as you are learning, as long as you are expressing yourself, as long as you are just being, right? As long as you are just being. After Leo, we have Virgo coming up. So, what's happening with the Virgos during this Gemini full moon energy? How can we give them some advice and new perspectives about navigating dualities? What is in the shadow? What is in the light? Virgo. One more time. Hey now. Three of Pentacles trying to come through about collaboration. What is in the shadow? Even King of Swords trying to pop out. Trying to master your thoughts, Virgo. And it's like, when we try to do that, the thoughts are not even yours. If you think that the thoughts are yours, point to them and tell me where they're coming from. They don't belong to you. Sometimes we're just an energetic match for certain thoughts to come through. So it's more about mastering your feelings about those thoughts and knowing if they are true, Virgo. And a lot of times when we think about things and we bring it into a process of inquiry, it's like, oh, it actually isn't true, and I can release this thought about myself, Virgo. So what is in the shadow? Two of Wands. And then what is in the light? The King of Pentacles. So Two of Wands in reverse makes me think about being in much resistance in the shadows about how to move forward or what to move forward with, right? The Two of Wands is going to be all about our passions and our primal urges and the things that we want to get moving forward. But if you're in contemplation about what you want to do, this could even be about a travel or a move. Yeah, because I'm seeing I'm calling it an atlas. I'm seeing a globe at the bottom, but then I'm also seeing a train here and then a boat. So it's like modes of transportation. There's a trip that's happened to do with modes of transportation for you, and you're like in the middle of like, what do you want to do? How far do I want to go? How long do I want to make it? In the shadows. And this, because it's in the shadow, it doesn't have to be something that you're seeing or feeling right now. But something's going to come up about that. And because the King of Pentacles is in reverse in the light, the underlying feeling of this resistance could be feeling like you don't have the funds to do it. And that even makes me think about this is Knight of Pentacles, all about getting things moving and going. So there's some type of trip. There's a move for the Virgos happening right now. Where are y'all going? Where are you going, Virgo? And that could mean a bunch of things in a bunch of different contexts. Where are you going? Where are you moving to? And can your mode of transportation, can you be open and flexible to the way that you get there? Can you be open and flexible to the way that you get there, knowing that you're provided for, knowing that you are provided for, and having safety in that? But it could be a bigger move than you're thinking, right? Like, the image that you've created could be a short move, but then energetically it's calling for a bigger one. You might have to go further away, and going further away doesn't necessarily mean it's going to cost more if we're thinking about the material realm, because it could be costing you more in a different way. Like, you didn't expect to be so far away from your family, or just things like that come into the surface, Virgo. A move is on the way. And it's a passion move for sure, but you have to get out of your pockets and stop thinking so much about your pockets when it comes to the move, because what it's requiring you to think about is what you really want. How safe are you going to feel in this move? And not even allowing old versions of what kept you safe to keep you in this mix-up. Virgo's got a move coming on the way, and it's deeper than the circumstances that are going to get you there. What is the basis of this? The Nine of Swords. Yeah. It even makes me think about somebody watching over you. Just as much as there are darker thoughts about what you can't do, there is this overwhelming, overpowering energy that's trying to just move you forward with it of what you can do. So I'm excited for your move, and congratulations in advance, Virgo. Short move or a long trip? I think that's what I tried to say. Yes, so after Virgo, we have Libra. Libra. Navigating dualities during this Gemini full moon, the last full moon of the year. What are the lights and the shadows coming through for Libra? Lights and shadows coming through for Libra during this time. Advice, new perspectives about navigating dualities. What's happening with the Libras? What's in the shadow? What's in the light? And how do we bring those qualities together? Libra, the shadow, the moon, the light, the Page of Wands. Okay, this makes me think about all your creativity. All of your creativity. With the moon here, there may be some neglect or some resistance to recognize both parts of yourself. Like, maybe you're tapping into just even feeling like you're sinking or feeling a disconnect from your emotions right now. Where could the disconnect from your emotions be coming through, Libra? And how can you bring that out of the shadows? How can you feel comfortable expressing yourself and being vulnerable with this time? We have a full moon happening in the card. So it could just be a high intensity time for your emotions and everything that you're feeling. And even with the two wolves howling at the moon, we have a darker wolf and then a lighter wolf here to kind of represent this duality. Like, there's nothing wrong with feeling your emotions, but sometimes our emotions can take us to a deep place, but there's nothing wrong with that deep place that we're going to, right? Sometimes we associate depth and darkness with negativity or something scary when we are born literally inside of something. We are born inside of a void. There's only darkness here, and we have to navigate the world through all of our other senses. So how can you even, Libra, take the vision away right now so that you can tap into the hearing, tap into the feeling, tap into the touches and the sensing and all of that, and then using the light energy of it when you come up on the other side to have it be a high energetic point of expression. So it makes me think about doing some journaling, doing some yoga, doing some movement, doing something that allows you to connect with your body and connect with your inner world. And through that, right, there may be less resistance in the shadows, because right now, less resistance in the light. Because right now in the light, we had the Page of Wands going upside down. This energy is all about, she's giving me creation. She's giving me excitement. She has like a wand up here and everything is swirling around her. She's jumping for joy. Like, I'm imagining this type of energy with it and just using that energy to create, to have fun. And because it's in reverse right now, it makes me think about, Yeah, all the things that you're neglecting within your emotions that can allow you to get things going, that can get your passions off the ground, that can get you creating, that can have you confident in the ways that you create, in the ways that you move your body, in the ways that you express yourself in the world. Libra, are you dancing more? Allow yourself to dance. That could be the moon thing, like I was talking about, journaling and yoga. It could be calling for you to dance, Libra. And yeah, just re-inhibit, relight your fire on the inside so that you feel comfortable doing something new within your passions. What is the foundation of this? The Queen of Cups. Yeah. Master your emotions. Master feeling comfortable within who you are and what you are and how you express. It's calling for balance in the emotions, right? You don't have to hide so much. There's nothing that you need to be untrue about in order to be accepted by something or someone else. Just be yourself and allow yourself to feel it all and get to dancing. Libra. Right, and last but not least, of course, we have Scorpio. Last but not least, of course, we have Scorpio. So what are the Scorpios navigating when it comes to duality right now that is in alignment with this Gemini full moon? And what advice and new perspectives can we give them to help with this navigation? Scorpio. Scorpio. I feel like it's there already. Yeah. Thank you. So the light and the shadows for the Scorpio. For the shadow, we have the Ace of Wands. Oh, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is in reverse for the shadow, and for the light, we have the Ten of Swords. It's given a lot about the beginning and the ending of a mental cycle, right? Ace of Swords can either be 1 or 11, but I'm looking at it right now as 1, like the start. And in the shadows, I'm seeing a lot of passion and even resistance, like a tight hold on how you want to express yourself about what a new thought is. Right, there's a lot of things that are coming out of a spiral, maybe a lot of things being revealed to you, a lot of new information coming through, right? You have a lot of new information coming through, but you don't really want to see that. Why don't you want to see the new information that's coming through, Scorpio? Is it going to untie you to something? It's just, there's a lot of calculations, a lot of things that are throwing you a whole bunch of different ways, and is maybe making you feel very uncomfortable. And then we have the Ten of Swords, right? So I think since it's in reverse, there's a resistance to leave old thought patterns and allow new thought patterns to come in, because there's an attachment to who you were and how you thought before, Scorpio. You're allowed to recreate yourself. You're allowed to have different thoughts and new thoughts, right? It's okay to have a new thought every day. It's okay to wake up feeling different every day. And with these thoughts, there's an attachment to them. But allow the new information to come through. Allow the new calculations and equations to come through. Allow yourself to fully see it, because even with the eyes being closed, open your eyes up to what's newly coming through for you when it comes to these new thoughts, these new ideas. Let them come through and release the attachment to the old way of thinking, because that's what's in the light. What's in the light is, I feel a lot of resistance about all that I'm seeing, and I don't know if I really want to see it anymore. And in the shadows, it's like, yes, see it and allow it to come through, because I got something to show you. I got a new adventure for us to go on. I have something new for us to experience through this new projection, right? When a lot of times when I think about how we're projected onto the world and how we experience this life, right? What happens on the inside is what's going to be projected on the outside. So allow for the newness to come through. Are you not ready for a new reality? Are you not ready to see something different? Have you not been crafting and asking for something different to come through? And then when that difference is coming through, it's challenging you so much that you want to resist it? No. This is all about allowing. This is all about acceptance. This is all about, it may not be what you asked for, but it's what you need. And then we have justice. So it could be feeling like it's not fair what you're seeing right now, but you don't know how much this is going to benefit you later on in life. You don't know how it's going to benefit you. It may help make you feel a little bit more wild, right? But sometimes we need that wildness in order to really start something new and put ourselves where we really belong, and really to feed ourselves, right? So you may even be in this appetitive state where it's like nothing, you just want to keep eating or keep experiencing, Scorpio. So when I say keep eating, it's consumption, right? You could be consuming a lot of different information that is coming from outside of you, and the information is asking you to go deeper within. and allow yourself to see what you know. Allow yourself to see what you actually are creating instead of looking at what other people are creating. And we ain't got that. This is like a game of truth for you right now, Scorpio. A game of truth coming through with the Gemini full moon. A lot of things shall be revealed after this Mercury retrograde is over. Because Mercury has a lot to do with communication. Wow. So if any of this resonated with you, go ahead and let me know how. I'm going to save this and put it on my YouTube as well as my Patreon. And I'll be sharing a link on my Instagram. Wow. A whole bunch of social networks. I'm so ready to get into something more physical and in real life. But I'm so grateful for what I have now to express, to share my voice, to share divine insights. And I'm grateful that you are watching for however long you are watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Peace.